You know which one that I want to see the most, right? Is why is PC gaming unoptimized and broken? Like that's the one that I wanted to see the most because like I've noticed that recently that a lot of like new games have felt so unoptimized for some apparent reason in such a short period of time when I never had this problem before, because I used to be able to run medium settings with my GPU with certain games with my VTuber model and all of this other stuff that I have open and everything. But now I can't even run it in medium settings. And sometimes I struggle at even low settings. And my freaking, and you might struggle with Rebirth. Well, we're not going to play it right now. We're not playing it because we're still going through Metaphor. We're going through Metaphor. And then we need to do Monster Hunter Rise afterwards to prepare ourselves for Monster Hunter Wilds. That's the only reason why. So it just felt like games have been so unoptimized. So I'm kind of curious to see if some ordinary gamer has any tidbit or information on us to see what's going on. Because he's a smart individual. Like I said, I do disagree with a lot of things he says. You know, like the whole lolly stuff and everything and all that stuff, right? And whatever other stuff. But I don't hate the guy. You know, there's no point of hating the dude. You know, I just have a different opinion, and then that's pretty much it. So. And I usually fill in the bubbles in the space or so where he doesn't know certain subjects that I know a little bit more than he does. So,
Hello,
but I'm kind of curious to see what he has to say.
And am I going to figure out autofocus off on my camera first, or is the game industry going to make optimized PC ports? Yeah, that's what we're talking about today, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to start this video off with a little bit of positivity. Okay, look, back in the days of early PC gaming, there were some really bad PC ports, okay?
True.
Not early PC gaming, but 2007, 2008 was like the dark ages. Quite literally, games like Saints Row 2, Grand Theft Auto 4, Double Agent, all released, and it really was a time where it felt like they took a bunch of homeless people off the street, put a gun to their head, and told them, develop a PC game, port our slop over to the computers. They charge you full price, and they drop that crap on your system, expecting you to actually enjoy the slop you are given. Now, I think if you're in the PC world, all right, which by the way is becoming a pretty popular way to game now. It used to be that only nerds had gaming computers.
True.
But nowadays, hey, every ordinary gamer has one.
Everybody.
Grandmother is looking into a gaming computer to play whatever they want. It is a trendy thing. And I don't think game developers and publishers can ignore the economic benefit that PC gaming brings alongside selling games on a console. But see, I'm somebody that when I want to play video games, and I do play a lot of them, I play them primarily on the PlayStation, because buying a PC game is kind of like playing Russian roulette. You never know when the actual gun is going to go off, okay? You might one day get an actual optimized game, or most times you might just experience the sweet bliss of an end. But ladies and gentlemen, the catalyst for today's actual video is one game known as Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Now, I don't want to pretend that...
So this is what we're going to be talking... Yeah, because I've been hearing that like it's been pretty unoptimized for Final Fantasy, at least for the new one anyways.
This game is a bad game. This is not a review of the game. Let me just give you an example. I like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I think it's a pretty expansive, huge game that absolutely is a pretty solid entry in this Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy. I've already played this game on the PS5, but when I played it on the PS5, I played it on performance mode, which meant that you run the game at 60 frames with the obvious caveat that the game looks like you have fucking cataracts, okay? The resolution is low because that's what the game needs to do to maintain 60 frames per second. Now, in reality, this is a PC game that is now released with some PC capabilities. So basically with the PC version, what it does is if you have the hardware, you can run games at a high enough frame rate, at a high enough resolution, so you don't have to compromise with console stuff. And that is the reason why I ended up getting it. I like supporting games that are especially single player focused because I think that's important for the industry. Now, this game is also 30% off right now, 65 Canadian dollars. So I want to also mention that because this is not free. I did not get a review code. I take the same financial hit that every single gamer in my audience takes, especially when I cover a video game.
Facts.
Because I think that's probably the most ethical way to do it. So this game ends up dropping.
Let me see. PC review, an excellent port. They actually did it. Background model details, new settings, Rebirth, PC changes everything.
and immediately I'm on YouTube. I'm like
Interesting.
looking up people talking about, oh, this is a great PC port. Oh, this is awesome. I feel like I live in an alternate fucking dimension because there are tons.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth PC port review, better than the PS5, but some quirks remain. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth continues through series streaks of iffy PC ports. Optimized PC graphics settings for Final Fantasy VII and Rebirth. Yeah, so there's even like articles or so saying like what are the best graphic optimizations for your for your game.
Tons of people, me included, that are actually complaining that this is not a good PC port. So one user writes in, the PC port is a hot mess. What took them so long to port this thing to PC? It's literally horrible. Crashed 3 times already, textures won't load properly, LODs are completely messed up, combat sometimes won't start even if you're standing in front of guys. No widescreen support, no mouse cursor on
no widescreen support. Oh no, whatever am I gonna do?
Main menu, what the fuck? That's actually true, by the way.
See, this is the reason why I don't have a widescreen monitor, and I never will get me a widescreen monitor.
This is a PC game where the mouse does not show up on the main menu, but somehow it's a amazing PC port. Great job. The piece de resistance, if you will. Cutscenes frequently just soft lock the game. Skipping cutscenes also soft locks and crashes the game.
What the fuck? It soft locks the game and fucking crashes it too? Just by skipping a cutscene? Oh god, dude.
TLDR, one of the worst ports on the PC I've ever seen, even by Square's standards. So I want to start off by mentioning one of the
usually most of the time when I get PC games or when I play any games in general, like it doesn't matter if it's on console or if it's on PC, most of the time I don't get like that many bugs when it comes to me specifically. Even with that that one game a long time ago on the PS3, the Space Marines Colonial, the Space Marines one, the Alien Space Marine Colonial, whatever the fuck it's called or so, back from Gearbox. I played it for a little bit and I didn't get that many bugs or so. I didn't have like the hilarious like broken bugs and like the crazy fucking glitches and everything. No, I never got really that really much of a thing. Usually most of my games, like I've never had like insane like game breaking, where I'm just like, oh, like nothing, it never happens to me that much. It happens like very, very minute. It's like less than like 5% that happens to me. So I'd be very curious when we ever get the chance to play, Final Fantasy Rebirth, will that be the same thing for me? Will the streak keep going, or will this game actually literally break on me multiple times?
Concerns that I've had. So as I'm playing this game, I've noticed that on my system, which is no slouch whatsoever, the game has stuttering problems. In fact, the frame rate is kind of all over the place. Now, when we talk about like frame rate issues on games like PCs, this is a first and foremost Unreal Engine 4 game. This is not Unreal Engine 5, which has its own host of issues. Unreal Engine 4 is a pretty aging engine, and this version of Unreal Engine 4 for this game is, I believe, pretty relatively customized with assistance from Epic and probably even assistance from PlayStation, especially since they, I believe, helped out with the entire trilogy so far on their systems. This is a customized version of the engine. This version of the game was supposed to fix up things like lighting, for instance, on the actual console to make it look a little bit better on the PC, and in some cases, it does look better overall. Like, there are scenes I remember in this game so far that just do look better than what I remembered on the PS5, even in quality mode. So yes, in that regard, there are some actual enhancements, but that's where it kind of ends. So this version of the game basically has what I would consider to be some serious stuttering issues. Now, when you start up this game on PC, it does do shader pre-calculation. And the thing about it is, when you're on a console, this step is unneeded because consoles are the same hardware no matter what box you buy.
That's true.
So the shaders are all calculated and do ship with the actual game on the disc. With the PC, it's different. Shaders are effectively tiny little programs that all have to be basically compiled because of different pieces of hardware. So you have a different piece of hardware in your system than I do. So generally, when we fire up a game, most games that run on these engines, or in fact, most games in general, will just calculate all of their shaders in the beginning, and it'll take somewhere around like 5, 10, maybe even 15 minutes. But once that step is done, you can basically play the game all the way through without an actual stutter. If you don't do this, anytime you come across something new in a video game, whether it be a new effect, a new shader to calculate, you will notice something known as shader pre-compilation stutter. And sites like Digital Foundry, a lot of performance channels have covered this kind of stuff, where no matter how good your hardware is, you will encounter stutter. So while that aspect seemingly is alleviated here, it really seems like this game has a real issue with things like traversal stutter, with just stutter in general. I mean, even walking around opening cities like Calm, or just any place in general, you'll notice that the game's frame rate will sometimes jump from 100 frames all the way down to like 80, 70, 60 frames at times. And again, it's not just this hardware on this computer. I ran this on the Muda box in my system downstairs, which is a totally different set of hardware, AMD card, Intel processor. What I've got on my gaming rig is an AMD processor and NVIDIA card. And even despite the varying hardware differences, I still come across the same type of stuttering no matter what. And I was kind of looking forward to this because I had noticed that this game was Steam Deck verified. They showed a little clip where in the opening section, they were running around and playing the game just fine. However, I feel like the person that Steam Deck verified this might actually have visual issues, like might have vision problems. Because playing the game on the Steam Deck, even in the opening section, will still...
Whoa, what the fuck? Is that on the Steam Deck? Holy shit, dude. I feel like I have my glasses off. Holy, if that actually is on the Steam Deck, holy shit, dude, you can definitely you definitely see the difference, all right? Damn, dude, it feels like I fucking have to squint or so. My eyes hurt.
Have the same level of stutter present. Traversal issues, the game will lurch around in its frames. So yes,
if this is yeah, okay, so I assume this is what he's showing this on the Steam. But holy shit, dude, my eyes, dude. Oh my god, my eyes have to like readjust itself in order for holy shit, it feels like someone put some Vaseline all over the fucking goddamn camera, dude, off in the distance. Holy shit, dude, it is, wow, it's pretty blurry in like some of the distance on this monitor. Holy shit,
if you're
dude.
comfortable with actual stuttering no matter what, then I guess it's technically playable. But I am not a fan of this kind of bullshit at all. I think if you buy a game for full price on the PC, developers should put the effort in to make the game as good as the console version.
Yeah.
So anything less should not be fucking tolerated, okay? You guys pay premium top dollar to play video games. You pay the same money.
Yeah, because like video games are expensive now these days, so we expect them to be at least like, if you're gonna charge more, right? Then we expect at least a pretty fucking good quality of a game, at least, you know? Like actual good frame rates for some of these games. And also fucking, for the love of peeps sakes, man, can you like optimize some of these games where I can actually run my VTuber model? Because holy shit, dude. Golly lord.
Does. Why are you not actually treated the same? So it's not even just the stuttering that's an actual issue. The features that this game provides are limited as well. For instance, it basically gives you only one actual real upscaler, okay? Or two, really. It gives you TAA, which you shouldn't use in video games unless you want blurry, smeary messes, okay?
Yeah.
It gives you TAAU, which is like Epic's version of like upscaling, which does a okay job. And then it only gives you DLSS. Now, again, I thought this was an NVIDIA-sponsored game, but it isn't, because NVIDIA hasn't even released drivers for this game yet, which is...
Oh. Yeah, you know, that might be a problem or so if there's no, okay. Yeah, maybe we won't play Final Fantasy Rebirth. maybe we'll just hold off for Final Fantasy Rebirth until we get a driver's update for that thing, you know?
Really shocking because this is Final Fantasy VII. It's not a small game. So clearly they threw in DLSS, and it wasn't even the most updated version of DLSS, okay?
What?
I use a DLSS swapping tool, and I found out this was actually a lower version than like whatever it was, like the Indiana Jones game that came out just a while ago. So it is a version of DLSS that is not even the most updated, and it doesn't even...
Wow. Well then, How about we don't play it?
Come with extra features like frame generation if you wanted to. And looking into the system specifications for this, a lot of people were complaining that they weren't able to run this on their GTX 1080s because I guess
On the GTX 1080? Wait. How's the other Final Fantasy game? Like what are the specs for the other Final Fantasy game? Can I see by any chance? Yeah, the older one can run on a 480 for AMD or GTX 780. Compared to the newer one, which the newer one is a lot bigger, a lot, you know, more expansive compared to the older one. Yeah, 2060. You need at least a minimum of an RTX 2060 or an RX 6600. Yeah. That is a definitely huge leap or so from a freaking what is it? From a freaking what is it? From a 780. A GTX 780. That is definitely a huge leap or so to a 20 series. Not even the 10 series can play it. That's interesting. That's kind of very interesting indeed.
yes, it needs a ray tracing card, even though the game does not do ray tracing, doesn't do path tracing, doesn't do frame generation. In fact, it only has DLSS, which doesn't even have things like AMD FSR or Intel XeSS, because fuck it, why would gamers need options, right? You're only...
So you guys telling me that do you guys think that they rushed this PC port, question mark? Because they didn't get drivers ready for Final Fantasy VII. There's no AMD options for the graphics stuff. There's also no Intel one as well.
selling a premium PC version of the game. And then there was the creepypasta that occurred too.
Creepypasta?
So for instance, for anybody that doesn't know, this game has some real issues that go beyond stuttering. For instance, randomly as I'm playing the game, if I go into the pause menu, which opens up a different location for the main characters to basically stand in the UI, the game will just go to a black screen sometimes. It'll just crash, things will stop working. And I was wondering, why the fuck is that even happening? Now, when you look up soft lock, you will literally find out moments where people complain about this moment, like broken sequences that soft lock the game and everything stays still, not allowing you to move or exit. You are standing in front of guys. No widescreen support, no mouse cursor in main menu. Cutscenes frequently just soft lock the game. Yeah, this is a real issue the game has, and I haven't seen it mentioned by...
he just fucking... Man, this is pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie, to be honest.
Any other reviewer, whether they're on YouTube or in the gaming publication.
Oh, that's
like,
pretty bad.
Of the game. Like, I have footage of this literally happening multiple times. The animation will just freeze where it's at, the game will just stop, and you have to Alt F4 and restart the game. Now, thankfully, autosaves are pretty frequent, so you can just get back to where you're at. But nobody at Square tests this at all, because it happens not just for me, but for other people in this entire list. And you might be saying, get a better computer, Muda. That doesn't really solve anything, okay? That doesn't really answer the question.
No.
It's not just me having this issue, it's other gamers as well. So again, may I ask you, did they quality test this game? And again, this is just a serious issue to have. Literally, I was taking a fat dump, came back, and I saw my character literally just soft lock. And this happened literally every hour that I played the game, to the point where Alt F4s became a hotkey on my controller and just launching the game again. It is actually not okay. The fact that people will defend this, and I know people will defend this in the comment section for this video, or any comment section in general, is just a state of affairs that shows how bad dick sucking in the community is getting, okay? I know there's people out there, okay, I can smell the sweaty fuck in front of Square Enix's office with the katana in hand, looking at me and going, leave the multi-billion-dollar company alone. You know, even looking at things like widescreen support, which this game does support widescreen, but a lot of PC games come with a lot of PCs now allow you to use ultra-wide monitors, or in my case, a super ultra-wide monitor.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I can never get the gist of it, of the super wide monitor stuff. I like, almost like every single person that I've known that has like a wide screen monitor is usually guys. Guys have like this wide screen monitor shit, and I just can't never understand it. It just makes no sense for me. I can't do this. I don't like this personally.
So Square Enix has not even decided to put that into the game. And generally speaking, when you play it on my monitor, if you actually want to see how I play with, it's a 16 by 9.
Hey Million, how you doing there, hun? Welcome, welcome.
Black bars.
No, 26.
Now, Square Enix could obviously not be fucked to fix this. It took a independent person 24 hours, less than 24 hours, to send out a patch that allowed them to do exactly what Square Enix as a multi-billion-dollar company should have done. The game works at 32 by 9, it plays relatively well, and aside from some minor UI issues, I would recommend this for people that have a super ultra-wide monitor, okay? It's a very immersive way to play the game.
Once you go ultra-wide, there's no going back? Okay, alright. I love to see them wide. I don't understand, like, the gist of a wide monitor. I just don't understand it whatsoever. I really don't.
Game. Why didn't Square Enix do this?
Cool ultra wide. Shut the fuck up, chat. I swear to shut the fuck up.
Begin with, I don't know.
You're in your fucking wide monitors. I swear to God.
But also, I don't care. It's a AAA company that's charging AAA prices for a video game on the PC. If you want to earn the respect of PC gamers, you should probably support the features that PCs provide.
That is very true. Plus, also, isn't there like a really huge market for like the PC market game now these days, compared to like everyone's basically almost have a PC now. So like there's a bigger market, so you have to treat those customers like with respect as well, because you want them to buy your games, don't you? So wide that I don't even need to turn to watch my back. It's like with women, the bigger the better. No, I'm okay. I don't need it to be bigger. I'm good. If you want it bigger, that's you, okay? That's you.
That consoles simply do not. And there's just no excuse for it. I'm sick and tired of pretending that people should just let this happen. Like, game companies can release these dog shit PC ports, and just because somebody's low expectations of the game basically touching 60 frames per second, yeah, it might stutter like a bitch every once in a while, or yeah, I'm playing the game at 720p and yeah, things look sharp enough. These are not standards we should be supporting, okay? As simple as that. These games should drop day one on PCs instead of being minimal viable product that simply exists just to throw onto the storefront, and maybe a week down the road, a month down the road, Square Enix could fix this. I refuse to believe the company has not known that these issues existed in the game before they launched.
I'd be very curious.
Especially things like the
hey,
game
Genesis.
literally soft locking on. Forget the performance and stuttering. When the game forces me to Alt F4 and reload,
because black bars is cinematic experience. Look, man, if you want black bars or so on your thing, just grab some black construction paper and tape it onto your monitor and you'll have your black cinematic experience, okay? It's free.
That is an issue that if not only me, other people are having. Square should have known this ahead of time anyways. How they released this game in this state is actually shocking. And the fact that, again, it comes out and people are like, just wait a month for the patches. You shouldn't have to wait at all for the patches.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this mindset or so. It's just like, oh, they'll fix it. Just wait for the update for the game itself. Don't worry about it. Stop complaining. I'm just like, man, bro, we had games that literally worked on day one. Okay, all right. I'll be very honest with you. I prefer games that actually work on day one instead of having broken ass games on the first day of launch, or having a day one patch, you know, before you even get to play the game, to fix all of the fucking issues that they couldn't resolve before they launched the game itself. That's why I prefer games to take their time to fucking, you know, optimize their games, make sure it runs really well. Personally, that's just my opinion of how I like games. I prefer the developers to take their time, but we all know that's not going to happen because, you know, the people in the suits want their money. They want their money immediately. You know, they got to do it before the first quarter, you know, first quarter sharings, you know, cost and stuff like that, you know. So, yeah, that's the only thing, you know. Like, preferably, I just prefer games to work immediately off the first day. That's why I've just been playing a lot more, you know. Sometimes I play more indie games than I do compared to, like, AAA games from time to time, you know.
These games should work out of the box day one, especially if you're paying. You're not getting these for free.
Yeah,
these are actual paid games.
We're paying like almost like $70 for some of these games, so we expect the games to be like pretty well optimized on the first day. You know, we're spending $70. Some of us are spending like $100 for like a special edition version of them, you know. I'm just saying, you know.
But look, aside from this one game right over here, right, people have complained about it, and obviously it's a pretty substantial issue. But like, look, there's been bad PC ports, and obviously is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth at the same level as like Saints Row 2 and Grand Theft Auto?
But doesn't Square Enix have like a track record of having like bad optimized games on PC? If I remember correctly, or is that a different company? I don't remember, to be honest. I know there's one company that has like a really pretty bad track record of having pretty bad unoptimized PC ports. I don't remember which one it was.
Before? No, it's not like as bad as them. But it's not acceptable to pay $60 for a game that is just not in a proper functioning spot right now.
True.
And like I said, I ran this on different sets of hardware. There's other games like Marvel Rivals.
Man, bro, this fucking game, dude, it's mostly the JP Studios. Is it the JP Studios mostly? Bro, this fucking game, I swear to God, dude, I try to fucking optimize this piece of shit and it does not fucking want to work most of the time, to be honest. It fucking lags my model to fucking hell, man. Oh, dude, it's such a pain in the ass to run this game.
Which have their own issues with things like memory dumps. I mean, I literally saw
Intel CPU crash troubleshooting guide. What the fuck? Are you serious? The solution in the Intel 13 and 14 generation of CPU crashes. If you're using an Intel 13 or 14 generation CPU, may encounter stability issues, low VRAM warnings, or crashes during shader compilation while gaming. Wow, that's crazy. Man, dude, what's up with these? Dude, what is up with these new games being so unoptimized as shit, dude?
A video of like Charlie complaining about this game crashing, and you go to their website and you look at why.
Ever since the new season came out for this fucking game, I've had this game crash a couple times on me. It has crashed multiple times for me.
These crashes could occur, and sometimes if you have things like an Intel 13th or 14th generation CPU, which I actually have in one of my rigs, the fact that people have to go through things like downloading Intel XTU, going through this entire process.
Jesus Christ. This is
not something many gamers do. You'd be surprised how little most PC gamers actually open the graphic settings on the PC games that they play.
Yeah.
Sometimes all they do is just go into a game, hit new game, and play with whatever default settings the game gives them. It's wild, okay? PC gaming is in a weird spot where it's like, it's profitable, gaming companies need to focus on it, but it almost feels like, at least in terms of Japanese...
PS5 Pro is such a savior. Shut the fuck up. You and your goddamn PS5 propaganda, I swear to God.
These companies, because American companies generally do a better job supporting PC games, Japanese companies just do not do that great of a job. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because PCs aren't as prevalent over there, which is bullshit, because there's a lot of Japanese gamers that I know personally that also game exclusively on PC.
But isn't like what's the biggest, what is the biggest market in Japan for? It's mobile gaming, right? Mobile gaming is like the biggest market, right, in Japan when it comes to gaming itself, right? Compared to like a PC. Like what is it? Let me see. It's mobile, isn't it? Yeah, smartphones, consoles, and mobile devices. Yeah. So 82 of the male gamers and 89% of the female gamers use smartphones for gaming. Mobile gaming is popular in Japan, with role-playing games, puzzle games, simulation games being the most popular genres. So the PC gaming in Japan accounts for less than 10% of the overall video game market. Popular PC games genres include role-playing games, shooters, and simulation games. Well, there you go. See? So, yes, his friends from his experience play PC games mostly. But I know this for a fact that Japan is mostly, smartphones, mobile devices. Well, consoles. I didn't know about consoles, but yeah, I think isn't China the one that has like the most for PC gamers, and same thing for Korea or something like that? Or is it the same thing as well? I'm not too sure on that. So, but yeah, it's pretty obvious. Yeah, consoles is much more popular than PC. I don't know, man. The statistics don't lie here, Muda. I'm just saying, Mudahar. I'm just saying.
It is literally the weirdest cultural shift that's happening on that side of the world. You know, in comparison, it's one of those things where even recently, Assassin's Creed Shadows just gave its actual PC specs.
Oh, are these the PC specs for Assassin's Creed Shadows? I didn't get the chance to see it. Wait, this game has ray tracing? What the fuck? What the hell? This game has fucking ray tracing? I did not even fucking knew about that, to be honest. It's fucking crazy. Oh man, dude, that's wild, to be honest. So let me see, where do I stand at around here? I have a Ryzen 9. I have a Ryzen 9 5900X for my CPU. I have a 3060 NVIDIA graphics card. Am I between medium and high? I'm somewhere between here, but then like my CPU is like somewhere here, a little bit more higher under enthusiast. China's mobile game scene is 14 billion. Is it bigger than the PC? It might be bigger than the PC, probably. Because they spend on Genshin a lot. Because I kind of forgot about Genshin actually, so completely forgot about Genshin. So these are the new CPUs, if I remember correctly. I haven't kept up with like I haven't really kept up with PC part stuff. So I guess I'm under recommended to enthusiast, yeah, under selective ray tracing. Oh man, this game is gonna be a pain in the ass to run, I can tell. Unless I go pick up a 4090 GPU, like I can do that in my local area, you know. Like I could do that if I wanted to, but who knows? I don't know if I want to do it, to be honest, because I kind of want to rather pick up one of the 50 series personally. But, oh well.
Specifications. And you want to know something wild about it too? This is actually, from what I've seen, how you should do a PC game. So Assassin's Creed Shadows looks better than FF7 Rebirth, easily, okay? Just technically speaking.
True. True. The specifications are a lot more... This is a lot more broader, and you can tell a lot more stuff here.
Forget about the art style, that can be subjective. Just technically speaking, it's the better game, both in technical features and probably in performance. So if you go to their actual PC spec sheet, if you're a PC gamer, you know this sheet by your heart, okay? Generally speaking, this will give you an idea of what hardware you need to reach a resolution or frame rate. So for minimum frames at 1080p at 30 frames per second, you can run this bitch on a 1070 with 8 gigs of VRAM.
That's not bad though, 1070. That's not too shabby.
You can run this on a Core i7-8700K.
I used to have that CPU a long time ago, actually.
Which at this moment in time is probably not the best way to play the game.
True.
But they have absolutely optimized this game.
Good luck to anyone getting a 50 series early. There is a shortage. Oh no, I'm not trying to get it early. I'm waiting until way later. Like I am waiting for a 50 series, but like I'm waiting for like the rest of the other like what is it, the other companies that make like alternative versions of the GPUs to kind of like see for a 50 series. That's why.
Or a set of hardware that is, again, even more minimum than FF7 Rebirth. And what's interesting about it too is this comes with selective ray tracing, meaning the developers for Assassin's Creed have literally said, if you have a GPU that doesn't support things like hardware ray tracing, which anything pre-RTX does not, we have developed our own solution to
waiting for the PS6 Pro Max. Shut the fuck up, I swear. Oh my god, I swear.
to run Assassin's Creed Shadows. The game
I wonder what my YouTube community thinks about you every single time you keep talking about fucking PS5 propaganda. I swear.
Who is developing a game, and
this fucking asshole.
Ray tracing, they are writing code to give you software ray tracing for cards that are definitely more than 8 years old at this point. So again, fucking
okay, I kind of figured as much that it would be more mobile gaming over there as well. I wasn't too sure if it was PC or mobile.
Two extremes. You know, as much shit as people give Ubisoft or the Assassin's Creed team, this is actually good to see compared to the dog shit I was playing around with earlier. You know, when it came to the only upscaling option when it came to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I had to, and by the way, this is completely independent. I literally, because Cyberpunk 2077 just updated, I grabbed its new DLSS 4, threw it into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth because it came with an older version of DLSS, and using NVIDIA Profile Inspector, forced it to run with the new Transformer model, and it actually gave maybe slightly better performance, but it fixed up, you know, some of the issues that came with DLSS upscaling.
Really? You can actually do that? Holy shit, dude. I did not know you can actually do that. Just grab like NVIDIA DLSS from like a different game and then just drag it into another game. I did not know about that actually. That's crazy.
I don't have an issue with things like upscaling or even AI frames, provided that they more benefit gamers who have older hardware anyways. If you have something like a 4090, you probably should not be using frame generation to reach whatever recommended or minimum frame rate the game publishers or developer wants you to have. Because if the developer tells you you need upscaling or frame generation, that sounds to me like an unoptimized, buggy game. You know,
that's very true. He's not wrong. Oh, are we going to talk about Alan Wake? I'm curious what he thinks about Alan Wake, to be honest. But yeah, he's not wrong. He's really not wrong with that specific sentence and on itself when they're talking about like, you know, frame generations and all this other shit, you know, like the extra shit. It just feels like, cause like it feels like a lot of the games recently has just been a lot of unoptimization. I can forgive Stalker 2 because Stalker 2 was like made, you know, was made during the war, so with the Ukraine and everything like that. So that's fine. I can let that one slide. I have no issues. And even then I wasn't having that much like bad optimizations or anything like that, you know, compared to like some of the other games that I've played. Kind of like Marvel Rivals is one of them. So
a game like Alan Wake 2 dropped, it literally had a spec sheet where DLSS was factored into every single fucking option. Meaning that, yes, no matter what, they had literally designed this game with upscaling in mind. Now, it's always wild to me when a piece of software is designed to breathe life into older cards is now used in factoring, you know, your game's performance. That just shows me you probably haven't thought the performance all the way through, and you probably haven't optimized your game all the way through if you want us to use, you know, upscaling technology to basically reach these minimum, frame requirements. And the minimum requirements are things like 60 FPS or 30 FPS in some cases. A RTX 2060 is not a slouch of a card. So in a game that, yes, albeit has ray tracing kind of somehow forced into it, should not require you to have a 2060 to run Alan Wake 2 at low 1080p at 30 frames per second. Dog, you gotta get your shit together at that point if you need, if that's all you can muster out of a 2060. Even games like Doom that literally will be like 1080p.
Oh wait, this is Doom the Dark Ages? Oh, I haven't even seen this yet. Hold on, where am I at on this spec sheet? So the minimum specs, AMD Zen 2 or Intel 10th generation, 3.2 gigahertz with 8 cores or slash 16 threads or better. For example, Ryzen 7 3700 or better. Is this, are they referring to Intel Core i7 10700K? Is that like one of the newer ones? I haven't really kept up with like Intel CPUs. Or is that one of the older ones? I can't even tell. NVIDIA 2060. So I'm between minimum and recommended from what I'm seeing anyways. I already have a lot of RAM, so I have no worries about RAM. Storage, I have no problem with storage. Interesting. Wait, this game has ray tracing? God damn, it feels like every single fucking game is going for ray tracing all the damn time. Jesus Christ. God damn, this thing has also ray tracing too? Fucking A, dude. God, every fucking game is going for the fucking ray tracing, the pretty lights and everything. God lord, dude.
P60 frames low settings, okay? It just came out, by the way, just the spec sheet. You need a ray tracing capable GPU with, 8 gigabytes or dedicated VRAM or better. Examples, 2060 or better. And of course, the Ultra 4K, which requires a 4080 or better, okay? 32 gigs of system memory at the absolute minimum for the recommended spec. Now, obviously, they don't mention things like upscaling over here, so I just imagine it probably is optimized, and it's actually pushing actual 4K without any real upscaling. But to be fair, I would actually be expecting a lot out of any game developer to give an optimized game at this point.
True.
But again, to go back to this Final Fantasy Rebirth nonsense that I bought, no matter what you do, it is a ill-performing PC port, and it's just another sign of real terrible optimization on any front. And I don't care what any reviewer says, this is literally based on my personal experience with the game. And I want to speak for the other people in the Steam discussion forums and the people talking about this PC port's quality. Because all I've been hearing about it is it's a perfect PC port. But in reality, I feel like the issues that are prevalent are not just issues in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. These are issues that I've seen with other, Unreal Engine specific games too. Even games like Unreal Engine that use Unreal Engine 5. You've probably heard the term, stutter struggle from the guys over at Digital Foundry, and it's no joke. All right, with a lot of these new engines and a lot of these new graphical features, it really...
Dude, I feel like the new Unreal Engine, when it comes to games being made off of that thing, dude, I just feel like sometimes it's so unoptimized. Because if I remember correctly, right, the new Marvel game is on the new engine, right? Like the Unreal Engine 5, right? I don't know. It just feels like some of these games feel so unoptimized for some apparent reason.
Feels like stuttering. Performance problems have become a serious concern, especially with PC games moving forward, right? And, it used to be one thing where, if you wanted to run a game at ultra settings, you definitely needed the top-of-the-line hardware.
Yeah.
But even running games at, higher settings or medium settings or sometimes even lower settings, it's hard to really identify what the real visual change is. And sometimes you can't even confirm if, something is working well in a game anyways. There's memory leaks, there's issues to worry about. I mean, just the raw instance of a stutter in a video game seems so fucking unavoidable, and we've been dealing with this shit for well over 2 years at this point, at least from my experience. And it's one of the things that has soured me so much on PC games, where it's yes, I want to be a PC gamer, but when I gotta deal with this kind of nonsense, it just blows my mind. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike.
He's not wrong. Well, the only thing he was wrong is about the Japanese or so, thinking that there's a lot of PC gamers in Japan or so. Well, I'm not too sure, right? Like I said, we just looked it up right now, and it literally just said that hey, Japan has mostly a mobile and console kind of crowd instead of a hardcore PC, PC type of thing. So if it's only Japan, if it's only the Japanese devs or so, it's because they're probably targeting towards the console and the mobile market a lot more compared to PC market over there. So But yeah, he's not wrong at the end of the day. He's definitely not wrong when it comes to that. There's just been so many weird things about recent PC games that are, number one, they're on the new, some of them are being worked on the new engine, and goddamn, dude, it feels like some of these games are so unoptimized that like my model starts lagging. Even the Dragon Age one, I couldn't even get that shit optimized very well. From time to time, I also lag on that thing too. So it's just kind of like, ugh, I can't deal with this thing most of the time. So I don't know, I don't know. But yeah, it was a very interesting thing to kind of see how he was like looking at things. Granted, he only got like one thing wrong, of course, which is the Japanese part, but everything else seems pretty all right. But anyone else in the comments that just can let me know of what he if there's anything that he said that wasn't correct or anything like that, because I usually read the comment sections in my own videos. But anyways, but yeah, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. Yeah, you know. Bye, YouTube. Remember, time to ditch your PC and join the PlayStation Master. Shut the fuck up. I swear. I'm about to throw you out of here. I swear. Don't listen. Don't listen. YouTube community, don't listen to him, okay? Don't listen to this guy. But anyways, that's the end of the video. And do not join the PS5 Master Race. Keep your PC. And peace.